Hey guys. Okay, so the last couple of weeks have obviously been very, very meaty sort of topics, aka super long videos. So this week I was like, you know what, I've got to pick something short and sharp, particularly because I've done 2 separate presentations and a ridiculous number of meetings this week. So my brain is just like, nah, ain't got it in me. We got to go short and sharp this time. So, in case you haven't worked it out, this week we're going to talk about Christmas stuff. More specifically, I want to focus on kind of the deadlines that are looming, the Christmas closures, all of that fun sort of stuff. So, what do you need to know? Well, first and foremost, if you're looking to do a standard pre-lodgement meeting, unfortunately, you've missed it in terms of getting one this year with council. So the cutoff was roughly a week ago, something like that. If you want to do a fast-track pre-lodgement meeting, so if you want to pay that extra roughly $700, there is still a teeny tiny window of opportunity to get one in this year. I say teeny tiny because you've got to pay council's fee quote by Monday, so yeah, you kind of only got the weekend to be able to get that in. Now, in terms of other cutoffs, I'm basically thinking in my head loosely, if everyone can get me their engagements and their at least draft plans by the Friday, the week before Christmas, then I'll be able to lodge before we actually all finish up on the 22nd. There's a little bit of flexibility there. Like if you've worked with me previously, you know that I love a bit of a challenge and I work best under pressure. So the reality is if you're going to offer up a bit of chocolate, you know, a bit of humour, some laughs and all of that sort of stuff, I'll probably still take it on in that final week. But yeah, let's just say, for sanity's sake, let's try and aim for that Friday, the week before Christmas, to get your base stuff to me. And then in terms of final plans, let's aim for the Wednesday, the week before Christmas. You get what I'm trying to say. Basically around that, I'm guessing it's going to be like the 20th or something like that. Try and get your final plans to me so we can lodge by the Friday the 22nd. Now in terms of council closures, they're going to finish up on Friday the 22nd. But naturally, as we start to get closer to that cutoff period, the wheels are going to start to slow. So there's always a massive push as we start to get into Christmas, so probably in the last 2 weeks before that lead-up period, where council just desperately tries to get every application off their books because like everyone, they like to start the year fresh with a clean slate, with less stuff hanging around. They also understand that a lot of people like the idea of getting it approved out before Christmas because it allows them to turn up to the family barbecues and be like, oh, we got it through, it's through council, we can start to plan the next stage. So yeah, leading into Christmas, there'll be a big push, but in those those days leading up to the final cutoff, things will start to slow inevitably as everyone starts to get into that festive spirit. Now, council themselves are going to be closed until the 8th of January. They will have super skeleton staff available during that time, so between the 22nd and the 8th, but we're really not going to see any sort of progress there. When they get back on the 8th, again, we're dealing with humans here on the other side. It's going to take a little while for those wheels to get back in motion. So I think it's probably going to be Monday the 15th that we really start to see things kick back into gear. Now, in terms of industry, everyone I've sort of spoken to, I think there's one consultant I've seen coming back on the 2nd, one's coming back on the 8th. Everyone else seems to be off until the 15th. Like everyone's taking a slightly longer sort of period there. Us at BTP, we're going to unofficially come back on the 8th so we can start to progress any correspondence that does come back from council, but we're going to officially come back on the 15th. And I'm going to spend probably that week there working behind the scenes, so not taking phone calls, not doing meetings, focusing on business improvement stuff because I've got some great ideas, things that I want to implement in terms of Charlie, our automated site assessment tool. I want to build in like the TLPI mapping data sets, some draft neighborhood plan data sets because I think that's really important information for people to pick up on those early stages before they start designing stuff. I also want to overhaul our AGT, which is the application generator tool. So basically, super simple terms, have a computer program that generates the base reports and forms and all that sort of stuff for our applications. I started creating that back in, I think it was 2017. And each year I've kind of evolved it, added a little bit more, but I want to kind of take a step back and go, okay, let's rethink this whole thing. There's been some massive advances in recent years, more specifically in the last year with AI and all that sort of stuff. How can I capitalize off that? Let's just start again and rethink everything. So yeah, in that week between the 8th and the 15th, I'll be working behind the scenes, but trying to ignore phone calls and trying not to have meetings so that I can really focus on setting the business up for the year ahead. I think that covers off everything I wanted to talk about. As I always like to say, until next time, thanks for watching.
For all you red tape lovers out there, I have one thing to say. Well, no, actually, I've got 3. Number 1, the advice provided in these videos is general in nature. It's not site specific. You would be a silly Billy to go and make financial decisions based on this advice without first checking with the town planner. Don't be a silly Billy. Number 2, Brisbane town planning is in no way linked to Brisbane City Council. The views expressed in these videos are my own, not council's. So if you don't like them, blame me, not council. Number 3. What was my number 3? Oh yeah. The views expressed in these videos are accurate at the time of recording. If you're watching this video back 10 years from now, the views may not be so accurate. That's all.